Warning, this podcast is intended for adult audiences only. We discuss sex and sexual relationships in a frank and open manner. We are not marriage and family therapist or sex therapist, and the content provided is for informational and entertainment purposes only. If you are under the age of 18 or do not wish to hear explicit discussions about sex and sexual relationships or adult language, then you shouldn't listen any further. But if you are, well, grab your seat, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of The Accidental Swingers. But we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah, schedule, man.
All right. Yeah. Crack that whip, baby.
That's right. You like it.
I do.
I know. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
We're Myrina and Tristan, a longtime married professional couple in our early 50s. Kids, dogs, cats, vacations at Disney World, you know, the whole 9 yards. But in 2018, we decided, after years of kind of talking about it, to live a non-monogamous lifestyle.
But it wasn't that easy, was it?
No, it wasn't.
You see, we sort of accidentally started swinging.
Yeah, we did. And we found our story so humorous and fun that we decided to record and chronicle our journey for ourselves so that we could go back and listen to our adventures.
And boy, have we had some adventures.
Yeah, we have.
In the last few years, we've found that we really love this lifestyle that we've chosen. And it's not only strengthened our marriage, but it's also helped us to grow both as individuals and as a couple.
And as we began to go back and listen to our recordings, we realized that others may really benefit from listening to and hearing about our mistakes and our very candid discussions about what we were going through and experiencing.
We talk about and we laugh about.
We laugh a lot.
Yeah, we do. We laugh about the mistakes that we've made, the crazy things that we've experienced, and the exciting things that have happened to us.
But we also talk very openly and honestly about the tough times, the emotional landmines and pitfalls we had to navigate, some rougher than others.
So we thought that we'd create this podcast so that others may gain some perspective or some insight and maybe even learn a lesson or two about what to do and what not to do in their own journeys.
And basically, you'll join us on our journey in real time because we will include excerpts of our recordings. Some will be quick outtakes, others will be longer conversations about what we were going through or experiencing at that time.
So grab a drink.
Or settle into your seat if you're driving.
Relax, sit back, and join us as we bumble our way through this adventure that we call
The Lifestyle. Well, hey, everybody.
Hi.
It's Myrina.
This is Tristan.
And you're listening to the Accidental Swingers podcast. How's it going, babe?
It's going great.
I know. Here we are on a football Sunday.
Yes. Divisional playoff weekend.
Yeah.
Great games yesterday.
Yeah.
We were about an hour and a half out from kickoff with the Bucks and
I know,
Rams. And so yeah,
well, we haven't put out any content in a while because it was kind of a busy holiday season for us. So we did have some fun.
We had a lot of fun.
We did, but we didn't get a chance to record a podcast
Right.
yet.
Yeah. So we're off schedule.
Right. But there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening. So let's talk let's talk really fast about our behind the scenes stuff that's been going on. So first of all, the main thing that happened is that working with the company, the Sway K, that's putting on our event in the Dominican Republic, with all the new COVID, they decided to reschedule us. So that trip has been rescheduled. It's not canceled, but it's been moved to November. So it's now November 5th through 12th, but everything is still in play. You can still pay your deposit. You can pay in installments if you would like. So that gives you a little bit longer actually to pay. And one of the things that we're doing is that as soon as you pay your deposit, you'll be added to our private community. So that's not, you don't have to wait till November to do that. So if you decide or you're thinking about going on the Sway K and you want to join us in our private community, go ahead and at least pay your deposit. Then we'll get notification and then we'll add you to the private community. So you'll have access to our community calls, the women's group, the men's group, and then we'll also start putting together and joining together with all of our Sway Kers that will be doing private groups with you guys as well. So that we all get to know each other before we go.
Which is going to be super fun because it's such an intimate event. It's going to be limited to 18 couples, including us. So it's going to be super fun. And getting to know everybody via Zoom calls prior to the actually being on the ground in the Dominican Republic is going to be great. So we're all going to know each other by the time we actually meet in person.
Yeah, and we already have 3 couples with a 4th couple. So that'll be fun already, starting to get folks together. So if you want to join us, that's all you need to do. Just pay the deposit, at least get on the list, get your space held, because once the spaces are gone, they will be gone. And matter of fact, somebody else had contacted me because the link, we had to change it and they were trying to sign up. So by the way, listener, I sent you an email back if you haven't answered check your spam box, because I did answer you back and told you how to check the new link. So anyways, that's up and on the website. But I did want to read and say exactly what the Sway K folks said to us. We really like them and appreciate them.
Yeah.
This was I felt like it was a very kind of classy way to put this. They said that regrettably, due to how the recent event of COVID is affecting travel, we had to make the difficult decision to cancel our spring offerings, including the one for the Accidental Swingers. Our goal with every Sway K and event is to produce sexy, spectacular experiences and atmospheres. And with the state of the flux that we are in right now, we are unsure if we could provide this over the next few months.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really awesome, because that is what they're about.
Right.
And if they're unsure, and you can't plan something totally hot, sexy, and crazy if you don't know how people are going to feel about it.
Exactly. And so we were in complete agreement with with Rob, the coordinator, our party host, that we would rather wait and do it right instead of being unsure.
Absolutely.
So we postponed it to November.
And if you're not sure what we're talking about, or you haven't heard about the Sway K, so very quickly, we're taking a small group of people to the North Shore of the Dominican Republic, and we get to stay in fancy Architectural Digest type houses, and it's a very small, intimate group. There's a whole video about it on our YouTube channel, which is kind of very private and secret, and most people don't even know that it exists because there isn't much on there, although there will be. But so if you want to go, subscribe now if you want to be updated when things get on the YouTube channel. But right now on the YouTube channel is that video where we talk to Rob, answer questions, talk a little bit about the trip itself. As they get more promotional videos, we'll also link to those. But we're super excited about it, and we're glad we didn't have to totally cancel the thing, that we got to reschedule and pick an awesome time in November. Like, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. That's what's happening with the Sway K. Go ahead and sign up, get the information, email me if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer that. But if you want to do that and you think you might want to do it, then let's get you in and get you part of the community, because you get, what is that, 6 months of our community then? So that's awesome.
Right. And how do they reach you?
You can send me an email, Myrina, Myrina, @accidentalswingers.com. There you go.
There you go.
That's how you do it. And then some other things that have been happening behind the scenes. What are some other things that we've been doing to help build our presence?
Well, we finally established a designated Accidental Swingers SDC profile.
Yes, we did.
And a designated Accidental Swingers SDC group. There have been several instances over the last year and a half where we've had people just stumble across our personal SDC profiles and reach out to us and want to become friends with us. And so what I've always had to tell people is, we're really trying to keep our podcast persona and our personal swinger personas separate to the extent that we can. And so we're happy to meet and have drinks and stuff and chat, but we want to keep those separate. And so what we decided to do was to establish an Accidental Swingers profile so people can follow us and vice versa and join our group and just have a little more interaction with us on SDC.
So if you're on SDC, we would love it if you go and find us. So you just search Accidental Swingers, but the swinger has 2 S's, but I think it comes up either way.
I think so. And the reason that we had to do that is because there already was an Accidental Swingers profile in Norway.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, how rude.
I think they predated us, but I don't know.
But still, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Accidental Swingers with 2 S's, but
it'll come up.
Marina's right. Yeah. If you just do it with 1 S, it'll still come up.
So you can follow us, but then also be sure to hit that join the group request, and then it just comes to us and we just approve that. And what that does is it puts you in part of our group. We will be putting some content in there, some exclusive content that eventually will go on the website. So we'll kind of dole it out a little bit. It'll be content that's first shared in the community.
Yeah.
Then it will be shared in the group, and then it will go on the website. So we'll have things there. But it's just a way to contact us and to be active on SDC with everybody. And so, we're really excited about it. We literally just set this up. So I think we have 15 members or something like that. People that found us already. Yeah. I mean, it literally started like Thursday or Friday. So go on there and find us on sdc.com and just search for the Accidental Swingers. If you find it, you'll know it's us because it looks just like us. And then it also says Accidental Swingers Podcast on it.
But actually, probably most of the people listening don't know what we look like.
Oh.
Think about it.
That's true. All right. Well, then
unless they're following us on Instagram.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter.
Yeah. We have some pictures on Twitter, but most
because we don't
on
our website. We don't have any pictures of us on our website.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we should fix that.
We should.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't mind anymore.
Yeah.
When we first started, we weren't going to tell anybody who we were, but
yeah, for our first year and maybe like the first year and a couple months, we kept ourselves private and we didn't put our pictures out there. But then last summer we started.
Yeah. So the other thing too about SDC is that if you're not an SDC member and you want to go check us out, actually, you can go to our website, and there is a banner on our website to join SDC. Mm-hmm. If you click and join through our website, that is an affiliate link. So full disclosure, we do get a little bit of money for that. So that's just another fabulous way, and we thank you in advance for supporting us that way. Anything that we are donated by affiliate links, we have decided we'll go back into what we're going to call our entertainment fund. Mm-hmm. And so anything that we get back from affiliate links from here, and we're also adding a Naughty in New Orleans affiliate link, so a Naughty events link. So anything that you sign up for Naughty or for SDC, when you sign up through our website, we get a little bit of affiliate income from that. And that money, like we said, we've decided to earmark for entertainment for fun events. So if you sign up for Naughty, through our affiliate link, we'll get affiliate income. That money goes into the party that we're planning to have at Naughty. And then you guys will be immediate VIP members because we get a list and we'll know who you are. And then you're invited to the VIP party in Naughty.
Yep.
So that's how that's going to work.
Right.
So we thought that'd be super fun and a nice way to say thank you. And to be able to have those affiliate links on there is very nice for us. So if you haven't done those things yet, you're thinking about going to Naughty, you need to do that now. I do know that Naughty, the main tower is already sold out. So they're at half capacity already.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is for July. So if you're going to sign up for Naughty New Orleans, you want to do that, please go through our website and click that affiliate link and sign up through there. Same for SDC. If you don't have an account yet, please go through our website and click on that and sign up through there. And you'll be good to go. And that's awesome.
That is.
That's right.
Right.
And also, when you're on our website, if you haven't signed up for our email updates, do that as well. That'll come up as a pop-up, or there's a little box on the right-hand side. And all that is just our updates. We send maybe 2 emails a month, so you will not be inundated. It is literally just, here's what's going on in the month coming up, and then we'll usually do one more. We're going to try and do one more in the middle of the month that just says any kind of updates or if we've posted anything or any interesting information that we found. So that's what those will be.
So with the housekeeping out of the way, what have we been up to lately?
Yeah, we did do. We were busy. We had a busy New Year's, and then we were at Caliente.
Yeah, last weekend, in fact. And we had a great time, as always. It was a little chilly this time.
Yeah, it was.
But in the sun, it was totally fine. And so during the day, we stayed in the sun. At night, we stayed in the club or the sports bar or the hot tub.
Yeah.
That was, a lot of fun as always. We had a great time in the dance club. But on Saturday, we had a chance to interview another couple. This is Rob and Trudy. And they're well known in the Caliente community in the Tampa area, well, actually all over swinger community. And so we were fortunate enough to be able to meet them and have a conversation with them, which is a super fun conversation. They're a really interesting, amazing couple.
Yeah.
And so that interview will be coming out probably sometime next month.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting weekend, too. We'll talk about it more in the interview when we preface the interview, but it was the first time I think they had done this unicorn party.
Yes.
But, so this particular night, Saturday night, the crowd was so young.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I don't think we really even talked about it as a group, but we talked about it when we went to go down to the playroom and the line was like super long and everybody was really, I mean, this was a totally different crowd again that we were used to seeing. I would say a majority of the people were in the 25 to 35 age range.
Yeah.
It was really, really interesting.
Yeah,
so it was really cool to see a totally different group kind of come in. And they had this unicorn party, which single females were free to come to Caliente that night on a Saturday night. So that's something they're going to be doing, I think.
Periodically, yeah.
I think so. So just if you're interested in that, make sure you sign up for their info and newsletter. Their newsletter just tells you what's going on, their events and stuff like that. But my understanding is that there was something that they were doing that and they wanted to do that to be able to offer to have the unicorns come for free. So like, how fun is that? So there was a ton.
It's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. There was a ton of people. It was really great. The energy was amazing. again, just you never know what you're going to get. That's the thing.
Right.
You just don't know because the vibe changes depending on the crowd that's there. It's always fun, but it definitely shifts and changes. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So that interview will be out, yes, in February.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have going on with this particular episode, honey?
So this will kind of finish out this incredible week that spanned maybe 3 episodes now, where we had basically 7 days of either meet and greets or play dates, and there was just something every night that we were doing.
Right.
And so this particular, and recall in the last episode, we skipped ahead to the Saturday night where we talked about the really hot anonymous sex at Caliente.
This was the night before.
So this was the night before that, and so this was the Friday night in that week, and this is with the gentleman that we introduced in episode 26, whom we had met on the previous Saturday night. So this is 6 days later. And so going back to episode 26, this is the guy that we met at Paradise Lakes, and Myrina decided, I'm going to go play with him. And so on the way up to the playrooms, that's when she discovered
Went to the ladies' room first.
Yep.
Fucking period started.
Yeah. Or I think just was finishing. Whatever. It was not okay. You were not clear to go.
Right. It was not clear.
So we rescheduled to this particular night that we're going to talk about and hear about in this raw audio that was taken on the way home from this date.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a single guy that we met, and there was definitely chemistry. And so this is the date night. Was this only a week later?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. It was a busy week.
It was a busy week. All right. Well, should we listen to the audio?
Let's listen to the audio.
All right. Let's do it. So then tonight was our play date with who we met last week at Paradise Lakes, who I had kind of gone down on, had gone down on him a little bit at Paradise Lakes. And this was much better, by the way, than being at Paradise Lakes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you. Thank God we couldn't fuck him, because that would have not been great. This was amazing.
Yeah.
So he offered to make us dinner, have that to come to his house, and he made us dinner, which was really, really sweet. And he's a really nice guy. And so after dinner, it was hard to get the ball rolling a little bit with conversation. So we went and sat on the sofa, and we're chatting, and then he started playing with my boobs, and was gonna start to unbutton my shirt, but you can't take the shirt off that way, so I had to pull it off over my head. And anyway, so we went into the bedroom, and long story short, so he went down on me first. Yeah. So so he went down on me first, and it is better, which is kind of why I kind of shooed you away a little bit. It's way too distracting to have you jump right in when it first starts off. So I couldn't relax, and so just for future reference, that's a good, if you don't mind.
No, I'm
kind of sitting back and not jumping right in until a little bit later on, because it was just I couldn't focus.
Right.
It was nice to have you there, sucking on my nipples and all that kind of stuff, but it was just distracting. So. But anyway, so kind of once the seal got broken and I was able to come, because it took a little while to actually, I didn't really squirt any. And then once that finally happened, then boy, it was all over the place. So he did that for a while. So he did the same thing that did. So he would fuck me, and then pull out, and then finger me, and then I would come everywhere. So that was kind of cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, he would pull out and then both lick your clit and finger you at the same time.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes he just did it finger. Yeah, if he started off doing it, he would dive down there and lick my clit and then, finger me. Oh, yeah, I just came everywhere, all over the place. So, that was really fucking hot. And he likes to see the contrast of the white skin against his dark skin. So he positioned me on the bed so that he could look in the mirror, and then he would say, put your hands on my chest or whatever. So once I kind of figured out he wanted to really see that, then I was a little bit more trying to make sure I could do that. But how long did we fuck? 3 hours, maybe?
2.5, 3 hours.
And it was nonstop.
Yeah.
And my pussy is gonna be really fucking sore.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And the other thing too, definitely, I would start to come, and he would go soft. I would begin to push him out by accident. Well, just by virtue of coming. So that's a lot of times too why he would pull out and then help me come because I was doing that anyways, and it was starting to make him soft.
Right.
So, and then you came in. So he fucked me for God only knows how long, and then you came in and you were messing with me while we were fucking and stuff, and then what happened?
Well, but
you came around.
Yeah, I fingered you and.
Oh yeah. You got on the bed.
Yeah.
And fingered me too. Yeah, and I think I don't know if you put it felt like you had tried.
I had 2 fingers.
It felt like 3. Yeah, I think that's so important. That's why I pushed your hand away,
right.
and I don't know what a good. Maybe I could have just held up 1 finger.
Yeah.
And but that's what that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so you were there, fingering me, made me come, and then you fucked me. Mm-hmm. You fucked me twice. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Yes, because you fucked me once and didn't come, and then you came back and fucked me again. Yeah. So
yeah, we switched off.
Yeah,
he was ready again. I could tell. So
yeah.
And he looked at me, and I'm like, yeah. So I said, yeah, come on. Because he was like, you want me to take over? And I said, yep.
Yeah, he was ready.
No, it was about him fucking you. I can fuck you anytime.
Yeah.
So yep, he was ready.
It was really hot. Did you hear him talking to me?
I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Okay, so he was saying.
I could hear him talking most of the time, but
a lot of it was mumbly, like you couldn't, like he was just talking. But once I figured out what he was saying, so he was really turned on by. He's like, "You're fucking, your pussy's so tight." Mm-hmm. So I was, we were just looking at each other, and he's like, "You're so fucking sexy," and he said, he's like, "God damn these long legs! I've been looking forward to fucking you all week long." And, so it was hot. Uh-huh. And then he said, and then at one point he asked me, what did he say? That I was a cock slayer and cock tamer, or something like that. And he said, how many other cocks have you tamed or slayed or whatever it was? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, how many men do you have? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about, and so he was really turned on, and it was really nice actually, and it wasn't like gross or even though he was like, man, you're fucking this, your pussy and so tight and all that kind of stuff. And he had asked me, he had said he likes to dirty talk, is that okay? And I said, I'm fine with it. And he's like, you don't want it or you do want it? And I said, no, it's I'm fine with it. So it was the perfect amount of, I don't want someone to call me a little whore, so I'm not sure what that means when people say I want to dirty talk, So that was fine, what he was saying, because it was definitely more of a turn-on kind of a thing. But anyway, so I was fucking hot as shit.
Did you tell him how many?
No.
You never did?
No.
You can hold that out for him.
Yeah. Then he said, while we were in the middle of fucking, he said something about what are the odds of his number coming up again in the lottery. And I said, I don't know.
Ooh.
I know. Well, that's why at the end
Feeling
I
saucy.
said, well, this was this is like earlier on, like pretty early, like this is like a third of the way through the 3-hour fuck session that we were having. So he was ready to go in for another one, sign up for another one. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
What do you have to add? Anything?
And then I started fucking you again from behind, and I said, well, suck his cock while I'm fucking you, and so he got in position, and you sucked him hard again, and then I came, and wait, no. Well, then at some point
that was the first time then, because
then at some point he went and that must have been the first time, because then at some point he kind of left, and he went and sat in the chair and watched.
Right.
Sat in the chair behind us and watched. And I fucked you, and I came, we both came.
Right. Oh, and that's when I thought it was over. And
that's right,
I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So then we were chatting, and I said, I think she's having a good time. and that's right, you were in the bathroom, and we went in the kitchen and got some water. And so, so then we were kind of laying around, and he went back to the chair, and I said, and I was laying on the bed with you, and I said, well, let's switch places, because I figured you'd want to kind of cuddle with him, and he's like, no, I'm good.
Right. Well, he wanted to turn the bed up, because the bed was vibrating, and he turned it on high when you got back on it.
Okay. Yeah.
So but but then when he still didn't get up after that, I thought, well, he's he's done.
Yeah, and you motioned to me, let's go.
Yeah.
And
it's time to wrap up.
So I started getting dressed, and then you put your panties on, and he said, I'm going to slip this cock in your pussy one more time.
Yeah, he's like, seeing you in those panties, I need to slip my cock in that pussy one more time. And I was like, okay.
So I went in the other room and just kind of let him have you by himself. But I did get up and watch.
Yeah, did you like that?
I did.
Yeah.
And, well, I loved, it was great hearing it. And I may have taken a little video, too, from the doorway.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Did you take the video of him fucking me doggy style?
Both.
Oh, you did? Oh, more than one video?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that and the fact that he's in really good shape. And
yeah, he is.
So, he's very muscular. And so, it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
So, and really big dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a score.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can make that a regular rotation.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you've scored some good guys the last 10 days or so.
He was number 20.
He was number 20? That's right.
He was number 20.
In the lifestyle.
So
which makes it 220 overall, but
makes it what?
220.
Oh, yeah, whatever. No.
In the lifestyle.
So when we first started this, you asked me how many guys I was gonna fuck
in the first year.
And I said 20.
I think you said 20.
Well,
actually, I didn't. Actually, that didn't come about until relatively recently, right before Christmas. And I said, we're coming up. And I said February. It'll be because I'm counting February 24th as our 23rd as our swingerversary,
right?
Our Uber drive anniversary,
right?
And not the actual play date, which was
right.
And so that's when our brains changed.
Right.
That's when the switches were flipped.
Yeah.
And so I said that was in December, and I said, well, got 2 months left. At that point, you had fucked 13 men. And I said, how many men do you want to fuck before our anniversary? You think you can get to 20? And you said, yeah, I don't know if I can get to 20 or not. That's pretty ambitious. And I said, you can get to 20. Because we didn't know that you'd be doing all this fucking in Virginia. We thought the whole month of January was going to be lost. Well, it turns out the month of January was a fuck fest.
I nailed 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah.
No, 5.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was number 20. We thought it was going to be lucky number 20 last night, but he didn't. So
nope. Still hovering.
Around.
Hovering in the soft swap zone.
In the soft swap zone, yeah. Yeah. So maybe tomorrow night, who knows? But probably not, because he's going to be drinking at Caliente all day. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be fucked up.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so that was really, really, really fucking amazing. And that is, I think, our longest actual play date. Play time.
Because there was really no break. It was because if he was...
You guys just fucked me nonstop.
Yeah, if he wasn't fucking you, I was fucking you.
Yeah. Or fingering, whatever, but it was nonstop. Yeah. I really think it was
I think it was 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was hot
It was
as
at least 2.5 hours,
yeah.
but I think it was closer to 3 hours.
I'm telling you, my pussy is hurting. So this is why the people have to soak in the Epsom salt.
Yeah.
Oh my, I wouldn't change it for anything. It was amazing.
Awesome.
It was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing. It was awesome as shit. Yeah.
So any clue how many orgasms?
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, it was just pretty constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put down a bunch of towels.
Yeah, and he kept...
And a pad, too, and he kept going and getting more towels.
Yeah.
And, it was just, everything was soaking wet, all the towels, yeah.
Yeah, he had his comforter, they put this blanket down, and then he had this pad on top of that. Then he ended up getting a towel for on top of that.
And then a couple more little hand towels.
Yeah, that was kind of wiped his face and brown, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, got home. So anyway, it was awesome. What an amazing play date that was. Mm-hmm. And what a great find.
Yeah.
And cannot wait to see him again. Holy shit. That was awesome. All right. So tomorrow night is Caliente. Monday is my first time with tentatively planned. Tuesday is Thursday is something else.
Do we have Thursday fun?
I think we do. Something's going on.
I don't have anything in my calendar.
I'll have to look in my book. And then Friday we go out of town.
Or that's our hotel.
So then
Saturday is.
And Saturday is. Yeah. All right. Good for us.
Good slut activity.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remembered in this recording, and you said that was the end of our very busy week. And I remembered, because I just finished editing this, that I knew that we had a big week planned, and I didn't say anything to you because I wanted to play it there. So yeah, we were busy that week, but apparently we were busy
the next week too. I forgot about that.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And throughout our podcast journey, like, each episode, it seems like we keep saying, then it just gets better and better. And now is when it really starts taking off.
Yes.
And now is when it really starts taking off. And we were relatively busy up to this point, but this is when it really starts getting crazy.
Right. And part of that is, and I listened to, so I want to talk a couple quick things before we start talking about my theory behind all of it. But it's so funny because I'm listening to that and I yawned through the first half of the thing. Did we say what time we were coming home? I think because I think we talked about two things in that particular audio. So this is at 2:00 in the morning or something like that. And I was exhausted.
It's always late. And
I was exhausted. But I perked up there at the end.
You sure did.
Yep. Talking about all that good fucking. It was awesome. What do you think about that audio?
It was, it's great audio. And that was an awesome date.
It was.
And he's an awesome guy.
He
and
is.
he'll show, we need to come up with a name for him because
I know. Yeah.
He shows up again.
Yeah.
And so, no, I loved it. So earlier in that week, I forget which episode it was, maybe 28 or 29, where we talked about the best MFM that we had to date.
Oh, yes.
This was right in line with that. So you had two incredible MFMs within a couple of days, Tuesday to Friday.
It was a crazy week.
It was a crazy week.
Yeah. And then Saturday.
This is the Caliente. For the last episode.
It truly was a premiere week in our lifestyle journey. But so many different things happening, which will lead to all this other stuff that's going on. But absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And the one thing I was going to talk about too, that I wrote down, so there was a couple things. And it's so interesting to hear myself talking about him dirty talking with me. So I'm generally not a dirty talk person, right? But he had asked me when we were kicking back and forth before our date about it. And so I had told him that, yes, obviously you heard me say that I had told him that, yes, it was okay. But I had told him that I don't like being called a whore or
anything degrading.
That's just not my style.
Or that you perceive as being degrading.
Right. But what he did when I was saying that was really hot because it was in the moment. And it was heartfelt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's, someone calling me a whore does not feel good. But when saying, oh, you take this cock and all that, that in the moment that was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And so that was new for me because I normally am like, ew,
Right. And it was exciting for me to hear, even though as mentioned in the audio, I couldn't really discern what he was saying.
Right.
But I just knew
there
was something going on,
right.
And I saw how you were responding to it. And so that was really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also knowing that that's rare, that you don't typically like that.
Yeah.
And so,
As a matter of fact, I think he's probably one of two, maybe three people that I allow that to happen with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, just comfortable. And like I said, it's in a weird way. It's heartfelt and it's usually complimentary dirty talk. If you could tell me how great my pussy is while you're fucking me and that's all dirty for you, hell yeah. Doesn't work for everybody, just letting you know.
Yeah, that's not a license.
No, it is not. It is not.
By any stretch.
But I just found that really, really interesting because I'd forgotten about that too. We have not seen him. I haven't seen him since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
We still keep in touch, but we haven't been able to coordinate getting back together. So, and I don't know if we will, but I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the two, actually three, that I would say would love to reconnect with after the pandemic. So. Still working on that. Anyways, I digress. I don't even want to talk about it. So, blah. The other thing I was going to mention, though, and you talked about this in the audio, and it was just a point I want to talk about because we didn't talk about it in the audio, was when you slipped out to go sit in the other room and then you took video.
Yes.
I wanted to point out that afterwards, because you didn't ask permission to take video up front, because we didn't think it was going to happen. Didn't even think about it. That
it
would
just kind of happened in the moment.
Right. So I want to point out that you told him before we left that you had done that. I think you even let him see it. I know you shared it with him.
Yeah, and I asked him, I told him that I had taken it.
Right.
And I said, I apologize for not asking you up front.
You were busy.
Exactly that it was in the moment, it fit in the moment. And he said, that's totally fine. Just don't share it. And I said, of course not. And so I texted it to him.
Right.
And since there's been a lot more video that we share.
But I just wanted to point that out because it was a screw up.
Yeah, it was.
It was an accidental recording.
It's something to talk about in advance.
Yes.
That we never had talked about in advance because it just never came up. The only other, at that point, I believe the only other video, no, it's not. Yeah, there was a video from Virginia from a couple of sources, but Roy is really the only person that I'd ever exchanged video with. But this was the first time that I ever took the video. With the other men, you had that conversation with them because I wasn't there.
Right.
But here, this was a conversation that I should have had with him in advance, but I didn't. But that's also that was the first time that we were with him. And so that's an awkward, so I don't know the answer of how that should go.
No, I think we handled it well. I think you're right because it was in the moment.
Yeah.
But definitely make sure that if that ever happens, you've got to tell the other person. You have to ask for permission to be able to say, I'm sorry, I went ahead and took it because I didn't want to stop you and get you out of your rhythm. If it bothers you, I will delete it. And you have to hold true to that. And you have to delete it in front of them.
Right in front of them, yeah.
Yes. And I would suspect that most people will be like, no, it's okay. But you have to ask. And so I just wanted to point that out because we didn't talk about it at all there, but we did talk about it later.
Yeah.
Because he was taken off guard. But we talked about it right then and right there. He's like, did you take video? And you were like, yes. And let me tell you why. And if you want me to delete it, I will totally delete it. And he's like, oh, no, okay. But it caught him off guard because we hadn't talked about it beforehand, but we were so new, we didn't even know that would
exactly.
be.
And that was a newbie mistake. The fun follow-up to that is the next time that the three of us had a play date, when we got there, he was playing the video on his TV.
That's right. Oh my God,
and that was the backdrop.
Oh my God.
For the next play date.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's hysterical. Yeah. So just that's another piece of information that was really important.
Part of the learning process. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you think it's going to happen, just ask about it or just make sure you talk about it after. And I'm glad you didn't stop in the middle and go, hey,
yeah,
is it okay if I take video, you guys? Because I've been like, what the fuck?
Right.
I probably said no. I used to not like it. Now I'm not as worried about it anymore. But yeah. So this dynamic, this play date, because we met him the week before at Paradise Lakes, and I kind of picked him up.
Yeah, you totally picked him up.
Well, kind of. A lady doesn't pick up a gentleman, but I flirted enough to give him the signal that it was okay. And then I decided I was going to fuck him.
Well,
so
that's pretty nuanced.
I know. All right. But I'm a nuanced girl. So there you go. So that happened. And then that week, obviously, we texted and kicked back and forth, messaged back and forth. And so he was kind of the first guy down here, back in Florida, that I created and maintained the entire relationship. Like he didn't message us on SLS or something like that. And so there was a little bit of a different, I set up everything with him, that we were going to have dinner and everything. And I just basically said, here's what we're going to do.
Right. And when you were in Virginia, that's, of course, how it had to happen because I wasn't around. And I had no involvement in that. And so, yeah, you're right. This is the first time down here that I basically was just informed what was going on.
Well, this was a little bit different of an MFM for us because of the way that the relationship started.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Because before that, I would come to you with profiles and with the guys who reached out to us and say, yeah, how does this guy look to you? And you'd say, yeah, that's fine. And then I would reach back out to him and I would start a conversation with him. What happened with you in Virginia, where you did all of that work, I think you realized that you liked that, first of all, and you developed the confidence to be able to do that. And then with this particular gentleman, where you were 100% in control from the get-go.
Right, because the way we met him.
Right, as you were in Virginia as well, it just became more natural for you. And I still would bring you profiles and say, this guy reached out to us, but then you would take over the communication at that point if it was somebody that you wanted to get to know more about. And then you would decide whether or not we would actually go and meet him or not. And then, of course, you would decide whether or not we would play with him.
Right. It was much more, that was starting that shift. That was starting a little bit more of that confidence in me. I think what part of it was too, that I didn't need you to protect me anymore. Like,
that's a good point.
Yeah. Like when I would say, yes, you reach out to them, it kind of,
I was a buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this way I got more confident in myself to say, no, I'll have the conversations because I'm going to end up having them anyways. And I don't need that buffer anymore. Like I could totally be the contact person with whoever's reaching out to us if I felt like I was interested in them.
Right.
And it still took a while. Like I think we'll get to it eventually, but like it took me a long time to build trust and to build, it is confidence, to build confidence in myself that I'm asking the right questions. And it took me a little bit longer to kind of vet the gentleman. So I might want to kick with them. Like I would kick with them for a while before sometimes I would even offer to meet or say, yes, let's move forward.
Right.
Because I still needed a little bit of a buffer. But I think that's the first step was me kind of letting you go and saying, I can do this. I don't need you to be my front man on that. Yeah, because you're right. In Virginia, I had no choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's pretty kind of hot.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hot for me too.
It was shift. Yeah. There was this shift was starting even a little bit more into that Hotwife dynamic. And I remember us, and I don't know if we've talked about this in other episodes or not, when we were looking or trying to figure out where we fit in this dynamic, like we didn't understand what Hotwife was. We didn't understand what Stag Vixen was. And we would listen, and everything is such a spectrum for people. It's also personal.
Right.
Humans define things by labels and categories, and we just couldn't find the place where we fit until I think we realized we didn't need to. It's still a Hotwife scenario because the foundation, I think, of a Hotwife is that she is taking responsibility. She makes the decisions. But it doesn't make me less of a Hotwife if I come to you and say, I think I want to play with this guy. What do you think? That doesn't change that. It's still my choices. But we had a hard time kind of figuring out because everybody has a little bit of a different definition.
Right.
Because it's what works for them.
Yeah. And there are people who consider a Hotwife situation where the man makes all the decisions. And to them, that's what Hotwife means.
Right.
And so there's no definition.
Right.
There really is no definition. It's very personal. And it can change, from week to week, from day to day, depending upon how we're feeling. It's just very fluid.
Right. And it depends.
And who you're meeting.
Right. I was just going to say, and it depends on who you are looking at in the profiles or whatever. Is it a single guy? Is it a couple? I've reached out to couples before too. We've done that. I mean, now that I was comfortable, I never did that before. I would never reach out to a couple on our behalf. And now if I see a couple, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to reach out to them and tell you that I'm going to reach out to them. I mean, I'll check with you first but I have no problem doing that. And before I would see somebody, we would talk about it, and then you would reach out to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that all started to shift.
Yeah. So I think the takeaway is you can have labels, but the utility of labels is pretty limited. You just need to meet people and talk to people, and then you know where they are.
And I think for me, the other piece, and I want to share this with listeners out there, the women that are out there, for me, being involved in the process even more of actually finding people, finding single guys or finding couples, not just that reached out to us, like me taking some time and going on and looking at profiles, really was a different level of engagement as well. Like we would do it together, or I would do it and you would do it, and then we would come back and talk about it. But it brought me more into the loop, and I didn't realize that I wasn't in the loop, so to speak. Like I was fine with you doing all the work but it did make it a little bit different when I was putting in the work to find people, and then we found people and we'd click with them or whatever it was.
Right. And I imagine that's empowering for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I felt more engaged.
Yeah. Okay. Empowerment and engagement.
Yeah.
Which makes you more invested in the process and more likely to get enjoyment out of it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's all, for us, it's a relationship thing. It's a relationship dynamic.
Right.
So yeah, I think so. And so I just wanted to kind of point that out because I've actually talked with women who said the same type of thing. Like once they actually started, no, I'll look at the profiles and I'll do this. And it's definitely different. So try it, ladies. If you haven't tried that piece of it, or sit together and do it, work on it together. That's always fun for us too, because that leads into a hot, sexy vibe usually as well. When you're talking about people, just even sharing in the communication of it doesn't even have to be a hot, sexy vibe,
right?
But it's just sharing in that communication. And
that's part of, I often refer to this as, this is more than a hobby for us. It is a hobby, but it's a lifestyle for us. But I often use that hobby analogy. And so when you talk about us doing this together, that's part of the relationship building. And so going with that hobby analogy, it's kind of like us playing doubles tennis together. We're both engaged in the same fun activity together, and we're sharing it, and we're building a relationship around it. In this case, it just happens to be fucking other people, which is way more fun than tennis. But I think that's part of the relationship building aspect.
I think so too. And I think, though, we've moved away from that a little bit, and I'm sure it will come back. And right now it's more of a time issue. It's like, I don't have time. So yes, bring me, if when we start back up to play, we had started to talk about this from last time, is that when we start back up, is like, yes, if you can have some time to research and do some look for some folks and things like that, or reach back out, but we do talk about them still. And so sometimes that comes and goes, but it's just kind of a different level of engagement sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. I really enjoy it though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Someday we'll get back to that again.
Yeah.
Right now, just slow and easy.
Yeah, slow and easy. And
very, very controlled. We have now expanded our bubble just a little bit more from our foursome. So, and that will continue very slowly.
Yeah.
As we move.
We are cautiously moving forward.
Yes. Which is a good pace.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was really it for this one. Anything else exciting and fun coming up? It's always getting better. There may be something fun coming up in the next episode as well.
Yeah, we have a very exciting play date scheduled, but that's later on in February.
Yeah, in this particular thing. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you talked about how our swingerversary is
that's right.
in February. Yeah. So
February
we talked
23rd, 24th. Yeah.
So we talked about that I had fucked 20 men.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Tristan's our historical analysis data keeper. So he knows my numbers. He knows his numbers and things like that. And I honestly don't even worry, and I don't even care. But I always want to say, I really don't think our swingerversary is in February.
So
we have this conversation every year in
technically it
February.
isn't because our first actual play date wasn't until the middle of March.
Yes.
But I say it in that audio that for me, the February date is our swingerversary, because that's when we had the Uber ride where we all made out in the car, back of the car, because that's when our brains changed. That's where in my mind, okay, everything's different now.
Well, so you celebrate in February, I'll celebrate in March, and that gives us 2 reasons to celebrate.
Just going to suggest that's how we operate, that we'll have it all.
We will. Yes, we'll have 2 swingerversaries then.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pre-swinger anniversary.
That's just the warm-up.
The pre-swingerversary. Yeah. And then the right one.
That's right. God, that's so you too.
Well, at least you get your portion of it. Yeah. Right. That's the way to do it. Our pre-swingerversary is coming up in February, and then our swingerversary is coming up in March. And it will be 4 years.
Yeah, it'll be 4 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
But it's so misleading. It's really...
half of that time is COVID.
Right. But if you spread out what we did in the first 2 years...
it's still a pretty good haul.
It's like what most people might do in 10 years. Yeah. So, yeah.
And actually, at that point in February, so we talk about numbers, that is when we started getting going. And so...
that was a year in.
And think about the fact that, so whether it's February, whether it's March, we didn't actually play with anybody successfully until June of 2018. And so we both compressed that into, depending upon what month we're talking about, somewhere less than a year.
Yeah.
Then that's when things started taking off for us.
Yeah.
So 2019 was an amazing year.
Yep.
That we'll have an amazing time podcasting about over the coming months.
Will.
Yeah.
Yep. And it will take multiple episodes to get through, sometimes a week.
Yeah.
Because that's how busy we were.
Mm-hmm. But each of those experiences are worth talking about because there was something learned. And there will be some experiences that we just don't talk about because...
right.
But we pick and choose the experiences that have something like teaching moments.
Right.
Or that are just really fucking hot. Sometimes there will be nothing to be gained other than, ooh, that was
really
hot.
hot video or hot audio. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a blow by blow, play by play.
No, but we're still so new. And that's like, for instance, in this one, talking about the video and stuff and talking about the fact that you got up and walked out of the room and talking about the fact when we first started talking actually in the audio, I forgot, I was going to mention that, how I asked you not to jump right in. And that was the first time that we really had that conversation either, because we were still learning. All of this was still new and we don't have signals and we don't know how to stop, and it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it was so interesting to hear us saying that
in
together.
real time.
Yeah, in real time. They're like, I really need you to you need to give us some time to warm up. And that's kind of been, now it's our modus operandi.
Yeah.
So that was a good lesson.
And now I don't necessarily need a signal. I know when to come in. Just intuitively.
That's true.
And because there's been enough experiences where I've learned, and sometimes I don't join in at all. That's very rare because you like to have multiple cocks.
Right.
there are times or have been a few times where I've just stayed out.
And I think that's part of...
But again, I can sense that from you. And I can, without signaling, I know when I should and when I should not join and to the level to which I should join. But that's just experience. That's just knowing you for 30 years and then watching you and participating with you fucking a lot of guys.
Right. And I was going to say, that is not something that is easy.
No, it's not.
And it's not something that will happen right up front. So if you guys are listening and be like, oh, when is that going to happen?
It may never.
It may never, but it's not something that it took us a while.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I wanted to point out here is this, and me having the confidence and feeling okay to be able to say to you, whoa.
Yeah. And me not getting butthurt about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's really important because
and
it's
that's
not
just
meant out of
yeah.
anger or anything. It's meant out of love. And it's meant out of like, this is how I need to have this experience happen. And you very respectful of that.
Yeah, and that's just part of we're so in tune with one another also.
It helps. Well,
it helps
and we talk a lot about it.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah, so it's really awesome. He comes up a couple more times. Like I said, we actually still hope to see him when we open up our bubble even further. He's one of the few that have stayed in contact through the last couple of years, but we'll see. I don't know. But he's a super, super great guy. So sweet and a lot of fun. We have a good chemistry.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it excellent.
Yeah, and I have a good friendship with him also.
Yeah, you tend to.
Which always helps.
Yeah, it does. It does. Don't be afraid of that. All right. Well, that's it for this episode, right?
That was a fun episode.
That is it. So as always, we're going to leave you with our social media handles because if you want to stay up to date with us or you want to check out what's going with us, make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's the best place. So you can find us at Accidental Swingers is the main account, or Tristan's account is...
at Myrina's Tristan.
Yes, and you follow Tristan's antics. They are different than ours. They're different than the main account. So I'm just letting you know.
Sometimes they're the same, but a lot of times they're not.
Yes. So
I go off on my own.
Yeah, he does all his own tangents and shit. But that's where we are there. That's the best place to kind of follow us. You can also, like we said earlier, just pop onto our website, accidentalswingers.com, and sign up for that update and that email list. That will get you our updates and our information and our newsletter. So that's where that will come across as well. And our travel calendar is up on the website as well. So you can always see what we're trying to do there. But the best place is either through the email updates or the Instagram, because if we add something to the calendar in a 2-day or 3-day notice, it's not going to make it onto the website or in the email, but it will make it onto Instagram. Yep. So that's where we are. So reach out to us there. Again, if you're interested in following us or being in our community, in our group on SDC, find us there. And if you are interested in going to Naughty in New Orleans and you're thinking about it, please go to our website and sign up through the affiliate link. We would love to have you at our VIP party. So that would be amazing. And there are so many wonderful, exciting things still coming up for us. We hope that you continue to join us on this journey and listen and enjoy our crazy stories.
It only gets better.
We're going to give Tristan a t-shirt that says it only gets better. Someday I think it may not, but not yet. And when we start back up, it'll still only get better.
It'll only get better.
Yeah, you guys, so it'll be fun.
Yep.
So we look forward to talking to you next time.
See
you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Love this episode of The Accidental Swingers? Pop on over to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to our show. And while you're there, you can leave us a review. You can also visit our website, accidentalswingers.com, to get show notes, read our blog, or find out about our next adventure. Join us next time and listen along as we bumble our way through this adventure that we call the lifestyle.